could say, why is the snake on the tree of knowledge of good and bad? Like, what is he doing there, first of all? And then why does he care if Adam and Eve eat from the fruit? Why does he care? You know, what's in it for him? Like, why is he doing that? And there's actually, it's actually not that hard to understand, because the snake is like kind of is an embodiment of formlessness, kind of represents formlessness. And so it represents something really, really ancient. And kind of like at the beginning, like day one, God created heaven and earth, and the earth was full of water and dark, and no light, and the breath of God was hovering over it. That kind of represents the idea of the snake. It's a formless thing that has a animation to it.
If I'm not wrong, in the Egyptian one, like the snake eating its own tail is what holds the universe together. Like the circle it makes when it eats its own tail is what holds. So I can see snakes as formless, becoming form,
being before form, like something more primeval than form, we could say. And even the snake represents something like that. Okay, so you could say, why does he care if Adam and Eve eat the tree of knowledge? Well, there's an easy answer, which is still kind of interesting. It's just because he wants to eat them.
He wants to eat you all.
He wants to eat them. He knows that if they eat from that, they'll die. They'll turn to dust. They'll go back to dust, and then he'll eat that dust. That's what it says in the text too. You will eat dust, and they will turn to dust. So why does the snake want that? Because he wants to eat them. That's the reason. And he wants to change them into formlessness. It's like the formlessness wants to regain the world. It used to be in power at the beginning, in early stages of the world. It's like the snake was the king, something like that. And so he kind of lost. God defeated him, we could say. That's why there's stories about cutting the snake and creating the world out of that. It's like the water. It means the same thing. It used to be, or everywhere in the world used to be this snake, this formlessness. And then God put him in his place, created the world, and then the snake wants to get the world back under his control. So he wants form to die. He wants form to be subsumed back into formlessness. It's like you're not really doing anything. You're not really working. You're not really accomplishing anything. You're having fun. You're playing. See, it's about simulation. It's all about simulation. The snake. I'm not saying lucid dreaming is bad per se. I'm just saying it's kind of like it's not bad to look at something, but if you look at it with desire, maybe it's dangerous. It's kind of that what I'm saying. I'm just saying if you start confusing dream state and awake state, then maybe it becomes harder and harder to determine what is a sin and what is not. Like what counts as a sin. Because I think the snake wants to make a simulation. It's one of the tricks of the snake is to make a simulation and then have you sin in the simulation, and then somehow have a confusion between simulation and reality, such that this thing was actually a real sin. You see, it's like, well, I mean, it's not just about carnal knowledge; it's about anything, really. It's like if there's a confusion between the simulation and reality, then some things that shouldn't be sins become sins. Some really concrete example that people could use maybe. What if I tell you? I'm telling you now. When you kill someone in the game, there's a robot killing someone over there. Do you still want to play the game? Or do you say, whoa, maybe I shouldn't play this game? Because even if I'm not sure, it's like, let's say I have no proof of this guy. You just told me if you kill in the game, he kills in real life. I have no proof. I'm not, let's say it's in some other country that the robot. I'm not going to go, I can't prove it. But he just told me that. And now in my mind, there's a confusion. Okay. So even if it's not true that a robot kills someone, even if that's not true, now if I think it's true and I kill someone in the game, is that a sin? You see what I'm saying? I'm just giving examples of how you can create confusion between simulation and real life, and then use that in clever ways to mess with people and to make them fall, it's a crazy example, but I think it's good. And this is all because this is a meta conspiracy. It's like we're supposed to. I think blackmail is a sign of a satanic takeover. Like that's what Satan does. He blackmails. Like he makes you sin, and then he accuses you of sinning. Now, if he's doing his job correctly, he's supposed to help you repent. Let's say he was doing his job correctly. Like he wasn't fallen. He's supposed to make you fall and then say, "Aha! I'll straight. this is your weakness here. You should work on that. But if he's fallen, if the role of Satan is fallen, which it is, then instead of doing that, instead of like accusing you so that you repent, he accuses you to bring you deeper into sin and to control you. So that's literally the definition of blackmail. It's like, especially when it's a blackmail that you yourself caused the sin of, you know, like a honeypot thing, sort of, you know. It's like you're the one who causes him to fall, and then you get information on him, and then you use that to hold power over him, you know, or bringing down even deeper into sin, so that now he's really can't get out of it. So I think that is literally what Satan does when he's fallen. It's like blackmail is the biggest sign of satanic takeover, in my opinion. Finding flaws, making you fall, and then using that to make you a slave, basically. I think now the key is to live in reality, live in nature. That's what I think. I keep repeating that. That's what I have to. That's my advice to people always. Right now, anyway. I think we feel like we're living in a simulation because we kind of are in many ways. We're on the internet, we're in games, we're on TV, we're watching TV, we're doing all these things that are simulations, and then we feel like we're in a fake world. But I mean, if you go outside and you build something, or you dig a ditch, or you chop some wood, or you go do something real in nature, do that for a week, okay? And these ideas that you're in a simulation, they'll be gone. I can guarantee you. Like, they will be gone. You're not in a simulation. You see, that's honestly my advice to people. You are in a simulation because you are in a simulation, but you don't have to be in a simulation. See, what I'm saying is the real world is not a simulation.
If you're seeing that, you might be in a simulation, but you don't have to be.
Exactly. You don't have to be in a simulation. It's not all a simulation. That's what I'm saying. Because that's kind of what they're trying to tell us now, is that the whole thing's a simulation, which is weird because it's kind of meaningless. What does that mean? If you're a materialist, okay, and then you realize that there's meaning to the world, you start becoming a non-materialist, basically. Someone who has a traditional cosmology, essentially. And then you might start, instead of just saying, oh, the world is not just materialistic, maybe our ancestors were right when they saw the world in terms of meaning, in terms of heaven and earth and all that stuff, in terms of angels and demons and things. Instead of doing that, you could also continue to be a materialist in your mind. And then all the meaning that you perceive, you see it as kind of fake. You see it as something created inside a material box. It's not real. Like the video game
narrative the devs gave you.
Yeah, it's like, if you remain a materialist, any kind of meaning that you see, you could attribute it to a simulation. But you could also just say, okay, maybe I'm wrong about materialism. Maybe the world is not just a material thing. And then meaning doesn't have to be seen as a simulation anymore. So what I'm saying is they're calling meaning, anything that they see meaning, they seem to be calling it as part of the simulation because they're materialists. So if you're a materialist, then the only way you explain meaning to yourself is with the idea of an analogy that we have where there's materiality, and then inside the materiality, we could pretend there's meaning. So saying the world is a simulation is just, to me, I'm saying it's just a way for materialists to, it seems to me, not admit that they were wrong about materialism. Maybe, I'm not sure. And so it's a way to see meaning without admitting that materialism is wrong. Maybe the world has meaning. And so it's not a simulation of anything. The meaning is not a simulation. It is what it is. Like, the meaning is there. You see what I mean? Saying that something's a simulation is saying that it's not the world. It's like a play or something, or a game or something that's in the real world. But maybe that play is the real world. Boom. Remove materialism, and then there's no need to say it's a simulation. The world has meaning. Just like our ancestors used to think. You know? It's like
the use of the simulation theory as an excuse to treat others inhumanely. And
it's an excuse for a law. The simulation idea is extremely dangerous, if you ask me. That's the problem. When you start thinking it's a simulation, it gets weird real fast in terms of ethics and in terms of everything, actually. It gets weird. But anyway, what I'm saying is you don't need to say it's a simulation. You just have to admit that the world has meaning and we're not just materialists anymore.